in LA this week.
A water main break sends tons of water gushing into the UCLA campus. I'm Rasha Goel, and that story's up next.
The Los Angeles Police Department is reminding everyone about the dangers of leaving a child alone inside a hot car. I'm Yana Kay. The details next.
Things are about to get worse for local businesses caught selling cigarettes and other smoking paraphernalia to minors. 14 businesses recently busted. Their names will be posted on a city website. And this is just the beginning if the city attorney's office has its way. I'm Gil Reyes with the story next.
Hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ellen Chang. The water main break near UCLA on July 29th was the talk of the town, both for the chaos it created, but also for the amount of water wasted during a critical water shortage. Rasha Goel reports on the aftermath of the big leak.
Cleanup efforts were in full swing after a 93-year-old water main burst under Sunset Boulevard near UCLA for more than 3 hours. The break occurred at the juncture of two pipes, one a 30-inch and the other a 36-inch pipe, resulting in a 30-foot geyser and a 10-foot deep sinkhole. And the fix isn't so easy.
What we're trying to do is figure out how to keep water flowing to the rest of the city while isolating this.
The massive water main break sent an estimated 8 to 10 million gallons of water onto the Westwood Roads and UCLA campus. According to UCLA officials, 6 facilities on the campus were damaged, including the Poly Pavilion. It's a huge hit for the school, who recently renovated the facility, which is considered one of college basketball's shrines since it was built in 1965. Casey Swing, a UCLA basketball player, says it's heartbreaking.
It's such a beautiful building. To even be able to play in it is just a blessing. So to see something like this happen is just crazy.
The flooding comes at a time when the state has mandated water conservation regulations during a historic drought. LADWP officials say it's a tough hit for the city's conservation efforts, but an official also put things into perspective.
In the grand scheme of things, that's about 2% of what the city uses in a day.
I think it's going to be in the long run a good wake-up call to let people know this is time to invest in our infrastructure.
The city's aging water infrastructure has been a hot topic for years. This incident serving as another urgent reminder of what needs to be done, and fast. In Westwood, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
We should mention, since Rasha filed her report, the LADWP now says 18 to 20 million gallons of water were lost in the pipe burst. The leak was shut off after workers adjusted up to 11 water valves. Council members Paul Koretz and Herb Wesson are asking that the LADWP report back to council on steps it's taking to minimize other ruptures from taking place. And just a few weeks prior to the water main break, the LADWP had actually been celebrating a water conservation victory, a grand reopening of a golf course that's made water conservation a way of doing business. Anna Marcos reports.
An earth-friendly ribbon cutting as fans and city leaders at the Los Feliz Golf Course celebrate the facility's new recycled water system.
Here at the Los Feliz Golf Course, we're saving 5.5 million gallons of drinking water annually. That's enough to fill 8 Olympic-sized swimming pools, or that's enough drinking water for about 170 LA residents to use for an entire year.
We live in a Mediterranean desert zone, and there's only so much water. And this year, it's real few. There was just a few drops this morning, and I felt so good to feel the raindrops. I haven't felt them in such a long time. Water is gold.
The course was closed for months for the renovations, but now golf pros, both large and small, can get back down to business on the green. Some, of course, need lessons more than others.
You look at your target. Don't swing your hands first. Hips and your stomach.
Wow, you got a good swing there.
Yeah, you look at your ball and then you hit the club.
Other changes include an improved drainage system, turf, parking lot, and waiting area. And soon there will be an added restroom at the back of the golf course.
The hillsides along the backside of the river are now all, the irrigation's been removed and drought-tolerant planting put in. But the most important thing that's happened here is that with our partner, the Department of Water and Power, we brought in recycled water here.
Golf sometimes gets kind of a bad rep as a water user and kind of abusive to the environment. But here is going to show the environmental friendliness that golf can play in a community.
6 of the City of LA's 14 golf courses are now using recycled water, but expect more as city leaders continue the quest to conserve water for a thirsty LA. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The Los Feliz golf course averages more than 40,000 rounds of golf per year. Another big metro construction project is behind us. The Century Crunch Bridge demolition project shut down roads near LAX for 57 hours from July 25th to the 28th. With nearly 93,000 motorists traveling through the Century Aviation intersection on a typical day, the public was strongly advised in advance to plan ahead in order to avoid congestion that could cause people to miss their flights. Here's a time lapse of the bridge demolition posted on Metro's website, which we've also shared on our Facebook page. And there it goes. At the 1 minute and 22 second mark of the 7-minute video, the bridge comes down. And at 3:17, you see all the construction vehicles removing the rubble. And by 6:16, you see the sunrise over the demolition site, with crews working all night into the morning, removing every last bit of the debris. Pretty incredible. Which takes us to This Week in Tweets. Metro Los Angeles kept Angelenos up to date all weekend long with updates and photos of the 3-day bridge demolition process. This photo was shared on July 26th with the caption, "Here's what the bridge looked like at 6 p.m. Friday night before the Century Crunch closure began." The next day, Metro posted this photo and wrote, "Goodbye, old railroad bridge, you served us well, but there's a new kid in town, Crenshaw, LAX line." And then for the after photo, the caption said, "And for those who just can't get enough, here's a pic that neatly sums it up, bridge to rubble." The Los Angeles airport also tweeted this happy tweet. Metro announces end to Century Crunch intersection of Century and Aviation Boulevards to reopen at 2 a.m., 4 hours ahead of schedule. Now that the demolition is done on Century Boulevard, 1 lane of traffic in each direction will be removed for 16 months to allow for the building of a new aerial light rail station connecting the Metro Green and Expo lines. And here's another connection that'll expand the scope of our region's public transit infrastructure. Anna Marcos reports on a plan that could connect 2 underserved valleys in LA County with a light rail system.
Commuters, residents, and city leaders all agree the Valley's Orange Bus Line has been a huge success, with 33,000 riders a day. But for decades, this part of the valley, in Valley Village, has had no light rail due to state legislation that banned it. Now that the ban has been lifted, the valley's transportation landscape is about to change.
The steps that we're taking today are the first steps of beginning that very important conversation about how we build transit in the San Fernando Valley that works.
Authorities came out to show their support for a landmark vote by the Metro Board of Directors. The board has agreed to study the possibility of connecting 2 underserved valleys, the San Fernando and San Gabriel valleys, with a light rail system. And it is much needed. Right now, out of 80 rail stations in LA, only 2 are in the valley, limiting transportation alternatives for residents. But this plan would look at converting the valley's now popular Orange Bus Line to light rail and extending it, building a San Fernando-San Gabriel Valley transit corridor that would connect Pasadena's Gold Line to the Bob Hope Airport and to the Red and Orange lines in North Hollywood, all by light rail.
I'm sure there will be people who will be concerned about light rail. Light rail is a much more intrusive use than a busway. There are going to be bridges all along the corridor, at least every mile, and sometimes probably every half mile. So there'll be some issues like that, but I think it's doable.
So you are a fan of public transportation?
Yes, I am, very much.
For now, the Orange Line is the only game in this part of town, but supporters are confident a new light rail here could take ridership levels to record highs and bring the valley into a new era of public transportation. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
A metro rail line connecting the 2 valleys could impact millions of commuters in LA County. A September Metro Board meeting should reveal new details about the plan. It's what every parent should already know, but police are making sure there's no doubt in anyone's mind that children's lives are put at risk when they are left alone in a car, especially during these sweltering summer months. Yana K takes us to a demonstration that shows just how quickly a car can heat up.
The sizzling temperatures in Los Angeles can be dangerous, even deadly. So Los Angeles police officers are educating parents about the dangers of leaving young ones inside hot cars.
Never leave a child alone in a car. Don't let your kids play in unattended vehicles. Teach them that a vehicle is not a play area.
In fact, just one day before this news conference in Panorama City, a 3-year-old boy died in nearby Sylmar after climbing into a hot car and becoming trapped. This marks the 3rd death in California and the 19th in the country so far this year. On a hot day like today, what many parents don't realize is how quickly temperatures can rise inside a locked car. Now take a look at this. Police officers put this thermometer inside this car about 10 minutes ago. It read 70 degrees. Now it's at 105. In fact, officers placed 2 thermometers inside 2 different cars, one with the windows cracked open and the other with the windows fully closed. Temperatures inside the car with the windows cracked open reached 112 degrees, while the car with the closed windows was only 3 degrees higher at 115. This experiment showed that it's never safe to leave your child inside a hot car.
This is a completely preventable injury, and it's tragic.
Police also say it makes no difference whether you park in the shade or in full sun. At 104 degrees, a child's organs begin to shut down, and at 107 degrees, the child can die.
Milk is something that we never leave in the car. If you're not going to leave this milk in your car, don't leave your child in the car.
A simple rule to live by that could save a life. I'm Yana K for LA This Week.
In 2013, 44 children died nationwide after being left inside hot cars. So far this year, 19 have died. Authorities come down on several local businesses accused of selling cigarettes to minors. As Gil Reyes reports, it's part of the city's heightened enforcement to help curb teen smoking.
Undercover cops bust 14 LA businesses, including PK's Donut and Ice Cream in Echo Park, for illegally selling cigarettes to minors. Their punishment, no cigarette sales or advertising for a month, and the city's crackdown is just beginning.
And that effort, as you'll hear in a moment, is particularly focused on areas where schools are located.
LA City Attorney Mike Feuer says each of the violating businesses sits within a half-mile from a school campus, many of them in low-income immigrant communities. That's alarming, since studies show chronic smoking and its health risks often begin in the teen years. Young people are known to illegally purchase cigarettes after class, sometimes with the help of an adult.
Well, we just give him like some extra money if he could do us the favor just to buy cigarettes, and I think that would be our strategy.
As city leaders, nothing we do is more important than protecting the health and welfare of our youth.
And they're taking action. City leaders plan to double the number of compliance checks at retailers to 700 per year, and to post online the names of businesses caught selling to minors. On top of all this, the LA City Attorney's Office plans to step up parent education programs at 4 LA schools that authorities believe could be breeding grounds for teen smoking. Leyte Middle School in the Rampart area is considered to be one of those campuses. Parents here can expect invitations to more parent-teacher conferences with law enforcement officials present to help curb the smoking problem.
We need to do something. We need to take action. We need to cooperate and work as a team
to help snuff out the problem once and for all. Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Only adults 18 and over are allowed to smoke in Los Angeles. Council members Mitch O'Farrell and Nuri Martinez are also calling for an update on the city's tobacco retailer's permit ordinance. They want to know if more action is needed to further deter businesses from selling to minors. Imagine having to compete with full-sized buses for parking spaces in your neighborhood. That's what some residents in the Koreatown neighborhood say they do day in and day out, as casino buses are now a part of their everyday landscape. Yana K reports.
These large buses are parked on Olympic Boulevard and Catalina, just west of Vermont Avenue, waiting to pick up passengers to take them to local casinos and then back again hours later. On average, about 30 buses a day make the rounds. But local businesses and residents say this 7-day-a-week operation and their clients are trashing the neighborhood.
When their clients, while they are waiting for their buses, they drink, they eat, and they throw trash cans. They throw trashes on the street, and sometimes they urinate.
The Wilshire Center Koreatown Neighborhood Council claims it has spent $20,000 cleaning up the trash. Residents and business owners also complain that the buses take up prime parking spaces on the street. The Koreatown Neighborhood Council says that while these buses do have a right to park on public city streets, they do not have a right to conduct business. Meanwhile, bus tour operators say they provide a much-needed service to the elderly and the retired.
They're only fun, they're entertainment, they need that. If you kick off from this street, where can I go?
The bus driver also says that this bus operation is the only way some employees can make a living.
If we stop this run, our bus coordinators and our bus driver, we lost their job. Right now the economy already slow.
Meanwhile, the neighborhood council said it is working with the city council to come up with a mutually acceptable solution.
They need to identify the location, have that location as their pickup point, and pay taxes to the city.
But until then, these casino buses will keep their doors open for business. I'm Yana Kay for LA This Week.
The Pico Union Neighborhood Council has joined the Koreatown Neighborhood Council in asking the LA City Council to take action in this matter. It could be the future field of dreams for young soccer players. The largest soccer facility in the city of LA is getting a facelift. Rasha Goel has more.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rayford Johnson.
30 years after he lit the flame to open the 1984 Olympic Games in Los Angeles, track and field legend Rayford Johnson joined city leaders and fellow Olympians to announce the $10.5 million renovation of the Ferraro Field Soccer Complex in Griffith Park.
Opportunities like this provide a platform for young people to prepare for the next level.
The project will transform the site into a state-of-the-art soccer complex, which will be able to serve nearly 340,000 players each year.
26 acres, they're going to get artificial turf, synthetic turf, and it's going to be great.
All of these soccer fields, synthetic, save the over 10 million gallons of water a year. So just in terms of children being able to play soccer year-round, not have to wait in between the months where it's raining or where it's not raining.
$3.5 million has already been raised, including $1 million from the City of Los Angeles and $1 million from the LA 84 Foundation, an organization that supports local youth programs through surplus funds that were endowed from the 1984 Olympic Games.
So we need these fields. They will be how we function in our programs, how we offer more programs to our kids. And that's the real benefit.
The kickoff is a reminder of the benefits the 84 Games continue to bring to the city and the opportunities created for future generations. I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
1984 Olympic medalists Greg Louganis, Edwin Moses, and Nelson Bales also joined the celebration. It took some wheeling and dealing, but now a mega entertainment corporation in downtown LA is ready to expand and bring in more jobs. Anna Marcos has more on the Unschutz Entertainment Group's latest business deal.
AEG's giant economic engine is about to get bigger, and this long vacant building will become its new extra office space. AEG, one of the world's largest concert touring and promotions companies with headquarters downtown, plans to lease and renovate the historic Desmond building to move in some of its divisions. The plan will create about 500 new jobs for LA.
We plan to move here a number of our divisions and businesses, but most notably two in particular, AEG Live, which houses our live entertainment and music promotion business. We'll be moving over here from the west side, and Access Ticketing, which is a new venture we started in recent years.
The 82,000 square feet of space will include loft offices, storefronts, a cafe, and a glass pavilion on top of the building, which will add an extra floor.
It's another in the great revitalization we're seeing in downtown, bringing jobs, bringing economic opportunity. It's right along the proposed future streetcar route.
The 500 new jobs will bring the total to more than 1,000 AEG jobs for downtown LA and further put the City of Angels front and center as a mecca for arts, culture, sports, business, and entertainment. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
Larchmont Village is a quaint, pedestrian-friendly street filled with shops and restaurants, and now officials hope a new beautification project will help bring even more pedestrians to the area. Yana K reports.
Local residents and business owners are hoping this newly completed median located just north of Rosewood Avenue will help transform the north part of Larchmont Boulevard to make it more pedestrian-friendly.
I think it modulates congestion, really, creates an opportunity for pedestrians primarily, which is really what the experience that we're trying to promote in the Larchmont corridor.
City officials and community members gathered to dedicate a total of 3 medians to the community. Workers began construction last year just north of Larchmont Village in order to beautify and connect both ends of Larchmont Boulevard to become one unified area. Officials say the 3 medians will calm traffic, prevent illegal U-turns, increase pedestrian safety, and much more.
It improved the flow of vehicular traffic for Larchmont Village community and the adjacent residents and create a greener, cooler environment.
Now, this median is the biggest one of the 3. It is 260 feet long by 8 feet wide. It also features 8 trees and drought-tolerant plants.
Which is key in this era that we live in, but they make people slow down, make the neighborhood more special.
The second median is located at Clinton Street, while the first and smallest of the 3 is located on the corner of Melrose and Larchmont and features a monument welcoming visitors to the village. I'm Yana Kay for LA This Week.
An important decision favoring city workers when it comes to cutbacks on their pension benefits. A city park gets a makeover just in time for summer, and a courthouse that became an accidental skate spot is now reopened to skaters once again. These stories and more in CityBeat. The city's attempt to save up to $4.9 billion in pension benefits over 30 years has lost a key decision. Los Angeles City Employee Relations Board sided with city workers who challenged the creation of a pension tier back in 2012 that raised the retirement age and cut back pension benefits for employees hired after July 1st, 2013. The board's decision to nullify the tier could affect the pension benefits of the nearly 300 to 400 employees hired since then, as well as those of future hires. The city attorney's office has the option to appeal the board's decision in Los Angeles Superior Court. Robert L. Burns Park recently reopened after undergoing major renovations. Now the popular summer picnic area has a new shade structure with a solid roof that covers the picnic area, replacing a deteriorated pergola-like structure. Approximately 3,700 square feet of the site's old concrete walkways and driveways have also been demolished and replaced with new walking paths. New picnic benches have been added to the park as well. Burns Park is a pocket park, but it is highly utilized by the community. The project is a collaboration between the Department of Recreation and Parks and the Department of Public Works Bureau of Engineering. Councilmember Mike Bonin, the LA Parks Foundation, and Nike SB, the brand's skateboarding division, helped reopen the iconic skate spot at the West LA Courthouse on Purdue Avenue recently. Skating at the West LA Courthouse, also known as the Santa Monica Courthouse, was stopped back in the early 2000s when the city added knobs around the building and seating area, preventing skaters from skating at the facility. Skating legends Eric Costin and Paul Rodriguez, who honed their skills at the courthouse, were both on hand for the reopening ceremony. The Metropolitan Transportation Board unanimously approved the first-of-its-kind business assistance program for small business owners currently struggling with the construction of the Crenshaw LAX light rail line along Crenshaw Boulevard, set to be completed in 2019. Mayor Eric Garcetti says much-needed traffic improvements in South LA should not come at the expense of business owners. The Business Solutions Center will help provide the more than 100 businesses between 48th and 60th Streets services that could include financial planning advice, help with municipal permits and regulations, and legal assistance. A council member representing Silver Lake and surrounding areas recently hosted a gala celebrating his first year in office. Councilman Mitch O'Farrell says affordable housing and the LA River will continue to be top priorities moving forward. Gil Reyes reports.
Silver Lake resident Lucia Morano says she and her councilman don't always see eye to eye. For example, Morano opposes plans to turn this abandoned church into a boutique hotel. The councilman supports the idea. Still, Morano likes his policies enough to attend his anniversary party.
We don't always agree on everything, and that's okay. That's a healthy debate, but he's great, he's helpful, he's visionary.
And he's celebrating his first year in office as Silver Lake's councilman. Mitch O'Farrell spent much of the past year taking part in monthly community walks, receiving feedback from the community.
He's made it better, he's got good plans for it, and we're very happy that he's our councilman.
In year one, O'Farrell's district scored big with federal approval for $1 billion to restore parts of the LA River. He has also pushed for a permanent revenue stream to build more affordable housing. Desperately needed housing for seniors, veterans,
and just professionals entering the workforce, because Los Angeles is one of the most high-cost cities in the United States, but it's the only high-cost city that does not have a permanent revenue stream for affordable housing, and we're going to change that.
The councilman also received high praise for his summer lunch program, which provides healthy meals for kids at LA parks and rec centers.
Mitch is very good on delivering services to the city and has been really a champion of green spaces and parks, and we're already happy to see evolution in this direction.
While looking forward to more healthy conversations with the councilman. In Silver Lake, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The gala was held at Mac Senate Studios in Silver Lake, and next week another councilman, Gil Cedillo, also looks back at his first year in office. In this week's list of things to do, mariachis, DJs, and Ecuadorian cuisine. The Skirball is your place for weekend family fun all summer long, where performances take place each weekend day featuring a different live act. On Saturday, August 9th at noon, Mariachi Tesoro de San Fernando will be performing at the Skirball Cultural Center at 2701 North Sepulveda Boulevard. The winner of the 2012 National Arts and Humanities Youth Program Award, Mariachi Tesoro de San Fernando, was created to pass on the mariachi tradition to the next generation of musicians. The performance is included with museum admission. Details can be found at skirball.org. And for more music fun, on Sunday, August 10th from 2 to 8 p.m., gather together with family and friends at Grand Park in the heart of downtown to experience beautiful soaring beats from LA's best DJs. DJs Benjamin Beck, John Charnas, Marquez Wyatt, and Eduardo Castillo will be spinning the tunes on this night. Grand Park is located at 200 North Grand Avenue. Go to grandparkla.org for details. Sunday, August 10th is also the day for the 16th Annual Los Angeles Ecuadorian Food Festival and Parade from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It takes place at Placita Overa downtown at Main Street and Cesar Chavez Avenue. At the festival, you'll enjoy a full menu of Ecuadorian dishes, including but not limited to roasted pig, pan-seared potato balls, tamales, plantains, ceviche, yucca bread, and goat stew. As for the parade, that steps off at 11 a.m. from Broadway and 7th Street. For details, go to lafoodfestivals.com. And that's a look at some upcoming things to do. That's going to do it for this edition. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ellen Chang. A reminder that you could catch us online at lacitybeview.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.